There are all kinds of videos all over the internet, DVDs, even VHS, that teaches you how to play guitar by showing you specific songs. It shows you where your fingers should go. It shows you how to read tabs. It even shows you how to tune, play with me. There's all kinds of videos, and they're all relatively effective. Something that was brought up by one of the community members, a direct message to me, which was brilliant. It was genius. He asked why there were no videos that teach us how to practice. Well, that's because it's impossible to remember what it's like to not know something. And I never thought to make that video. It is really important to know how to practice. The way I learned how to practice was somebody sat me down and showed me how to practice the guitar. I watched them practice the song, and they handed me the guitar and they showed me how to practice. Remotely, over the internet, I can't sit down with you and watch you practice. So I'm just going to go through two different ways that you practice the guitar. So the first way is probably the most common way, and it's going to be what's most helpful for learning a specific song quickly. Okay. The first thing is, and I should name it so there's some easy way to distinguish between the two, but it's the style of practice when you want to play X song for X person, or I have a gig on Friday and I want to learn a new song, or I'm trying to learn my first song. How do I play Horse with No Name? All that kind of stuff. This is how you practice that. Step one, set aside enough time to do all of this stuff in one chunk. Okay. That could be a pretty wide range of time, depending on how many times you've done it. You need to tune your guitar. You need to sit down. You need to have some kind of music in front of you, whether it's your iPad or your phone, or if you have a music book, open that up. You need to have enough time to get it all out, tune the guitar, and not be in a hurry to get done. Being in a hurry to get done will make you practice too quickly. That will affect a bunch of things. Your rhythm, it'll practice your ability to remember, and it'll practice your ability to keep your fingers in time, both hands. It'll make it harder for you to actually get to the chords, because when you're rushed or nervous, your fingers won't get to their precise places. Okay, the way we do this kind of practice is sit down, tune the guitar. Once the guitar is tuned, now you get your music out. Get your sheet music out. Let's say the song is Horse with No Name. We're going to do that song because I have a video that shows you how to play it. Go find it. I'll link it in this below. It's these two chords. That's it. Just those two. And then it repeats them. Okay. Now, the minimum amount of time required to practice is the amount of time it takes you to play those two shapes, the length of the actual song. So if the song is 3 minutes long, you need at least 3 minutes, and you're just going to sit there and play along with the song. Three minutes can feel like a long, long time. If you're not to the place yet where you can sit down and play two chords, that's okay. You need to start with that song and get those two chords. Start with that E shape and that F sharp shape. You need to get those two down and learn that song. The reason we start with that song is because it's two easy chords, but also because you can learn how you practice best by practicing that song for a long period of time. And I don't mean like dedicate an hour to it. I mean, maybe it takes you 4 months of just that. Okay, you need a long period of time to do it. If it takes, if you go to a concert, let's say you go see Hootie and the Blowfish or whoever you like, Dave Matthews Band, U2, Coldplay, any of those guys, they have played the song that they're playing for you at least 500 or 600 times. Anybody who's older and famous and been playing, it's hundreds and hundreds of times that they've played the song. Not that they've played those chord changes. They've probably played those chord changes somewhere upwards of 10 to 15,000 times for every song, every chord change. So what you need to do when you practice is sit down, tune the guitar, and start getting that repetition. The first thing, make your chords and start playing through your song. And keep playing through it. Mess up, sound bad. Maybe the first time through it, it sounds like this. Right? You just get the reps in. Get the reps in. Don't stop getting the reps in. Okay, that's the first type of practice. That type of practice is for I need to learn X song. Okay. Practice type number 2 is hanging out with your guitar. Maybe you're out on the road and you want to play your guitar, you want to sit by a campfire by yourself, or like me, you get the kids in bed and it's time to goof off for the night. You're sitting down to relax. First step, tune your guitar. Second step, sit down and just start to noodle around. Maybe you start with a scale like that. Maybe you want to just practice getting your finger strength up. And so you just kind of do this. I'm not going to do anything cool or fancy there. I'm just using these 2 fingers and I'm splitting them on the 3rd fret of the E strings. Just pinching with my fingers. And I'm just getting my fingers on the guitar. Doesn't need to be fancy, doesn't need to sound cool. And this type of practice is more for, maybe I want to learn how to write songs. Maybe I hear sounds in my head, I can't figure out how to get them out into the guitar. So I'm going to just start getting used to moving them around, my fingers around, and plucking the strings with those fingers on there. And you never know, you might come up with something that sounds kind of cool. You might not ever find anything that sounds good ever. We're just trying to find sounds, and we're not trying to learn a song. We're just trying to spend time listening to the guitar and what sounds good together. You know, do I know that I can go here? Well, I can't just go look that up. If I hear that sound in my head, there's no way to Google search, how do I play the sound in my head? Get your fingers on the guitar and start finding where the sound is. It doesn't need to sound like anything at all. Just get your fingers on the guitar. Same thing as the other style. The point of practice is repetition. And a lot of times people say, practice makes perfect. That is not true. It's never been true. Nobody who's ever been a professional in music has ever said that and meant it. What they mean by it, if they did say that, was practice makes permanent. So when you practice, you're making permanent your ability to do the thing you practice. So if I know that that sounds good, that doesn't sound as good, but that does. Now I'm just making permanent that change. Maybe I just want to find another sound. That sounds good. I'm just figuring out what sounds good and just playing it. And I've been doing that for 25 years, so yours should not sound like that. I know I kind of figured out what sounds good there. And I'm not even making chords. Those are just places that I know sound good on the guitar. Here's another one that, I mean, they are technically chords. We could look it up on a tab machine and find out what the chord is, but I'm not trying to play that chord shape. I just know that when I put my fingers here, the sound that comes out is pleasant. like that. That's perfect. That was just a scale, and I flubbed it up. But I'm not trying to practice the scale. I'm just relaxing and finding where my fingers fit. And there's no, oh, what was that, a hammer-on? Was that a pull-off? What was he doing? I'm just figuring out what sounds good to me on the guitar. Okay, wrap it all up. There's two types of practicing on the guitar. The first type is to learn a specific song a specific way. The way you do that is you sit down, you tune your guitar, and then you get your music up, and you learn as little of the song as possible. You learn just the chords, and you play it with the track. Just, if it's just Horse with No Name, I'm just focusing on what are the two chords in that song. And I'm gonna do that literally 1,000 times. Do that chord change 1,000 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do it 1,000 times. And when you're sick of that song and you're ready to go on to the next one, go to G or go to E or go to whatever you want, F or C, and do the same thing again. I practiced this chord change, E to A to D, back to A, back to E. I did that for 3 years before I learned any other chords at all. We're just learning repetition. Okay, second type of practice is the type of practice that is for learning what the guitar sounds like, teaching your hands, teaching your mind to hear a sound and play the thing that you hear in your head. And something that also helps a lot with this, which might sound a little weird, turn on an old movie that you like that has a good soundtrack and just figure out where the notes are for the song. And don't pick a song, or don't pick a movie that you're gonna stop playing and listen to the words. Pick something with a good soundtrack, and maybe turn on Pirates of the Caribbean or something, and learn where that riff is. There it is. There you go, just figuring it out. Turn on the track, figure out where the notes are. Turn on a movie, listen to the soundtrack. I'm pointing over here because that's where my TV is. Turn on something that you can play along with. This is how you start learning how you practice best. Give it a couple years or give it a couple hours, and pretty soon you've learned how you learn guitar the best. And pretty soon you'll be able to sit down, pull up the sheet music, and the first time you look at it, play right through like it's a song you've known your whole life. Takes a long time, you can get there. That's why we're here. And thank you so much for the idea. Nobody ever talks about how you practice. I'll make another video that is me practicing a new song.